Guys, this video is for Jesse. I've never done a video on one of these before, but they are some of my favorite amps, minus the variable. I don't care for having the variable in it myself, but he did request having the variable. Normally, I get them for myself with a high and low switch, and I have a couple in stock actually right now with the high and low and no sideband. He actually requested a bias and delay on this one for sideband use, and he wanted a variable on it. Now, when I buy them for myself or buy them just a stock, unless you custom order them, they will come with a high and low, and they won't come with a variable on them. But that's the way the customer wanted it, so no problem. That's the way we ordered it there. I run one of these myself on my ground plane. They make an excellent little driver, pre-driver, if you're running some big stuff. What I mean by that is you kind of use this as like a modulator. It goes into a medium-sized amp, and then that goes into a larger amp. Or if you're running some of the smaller stuff like a 4-pill or something, these things are great. I pair mine with the Cobra 87 GTL that I run on the base, and it does a heck of a job. So we're going to hit it with about 35, 40 watts PEP, 10 watts average. That's probably about a 2 watt dead key, just as a guess. And we'll see how it does. Get our meter off of peak. We've already pre-tested it, kind of get an idea what we're working with. 14.9 is our test voltage. We'll just give it an audio here. Audio. So right at 10 amps, give or take there. And again, nice lengthy sideband delay. Turn it off. No delay. So about 10 amps, a single 2879. That's about what you can expect one to draw. Now, we could hit it a little bit harder, but I probably wouldn't. I'd stay around the single final radio or 35 to 40 watts PEP, and then, 10 to 12, maybe a little bit more average power is what I'd put into it. Show you how much we're getting out of it here. We've got a 500 watt slug in, so we're going to be looking at the middle scale. So that 10 on the 500 watt scale is going to be 100. The hash mark halfway would be 50. And we're not hardly halfway to it. So, probably less than 20 watts, something like that. Audio into about 50. Hello, radio, 1, 2. Audio, maybe with the right tone, about 55 or 60. Average. PEP. Audio 1, 2, 3. Audio 1, 2, 3. And that's about what I would expect. About 150 watts PEP out of it. Audio. Right there at 150. Call it 148 or whatever you want to. But right there around 150 watts PEP. Now we can turn the variable down. We'll go halfway. Let's see if it makes a difference, on the swing. Audio 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It did make a difference, so that cut it back to about 115, 120. Audio 1, 2, 3. Audio. We'll go back to 9 o'clock with the variable. Hello, check. Audio 1, 2, and that cuts us back to about 100 watts PEP. Audio check 1, 2. And then all the way down. Audio check 1, 2, 3. It doesn't change much. About 95 or so. Audio check. If you're curious what it draws all the way down, audio about an amp less, give or take, amp and a half. Dead key all the way down, nothing. So definitely acting like a modulator there, keying about the same as what we put in it. Dead key at 9 o'clock. Still low. 12 o'clock. Still pretty low. 3 o'clock starts to show some life. And then wide open. So you can run it down. And again, it kind of acts like a modulator when you run it all the way down. It's going to key about the same or very little more than what you put into it. I like the way they work a little better with the high and low switch, but again, that's just me. I'm not a fan of variables on stuff unless you have something like a 2 driving 4 or a 1 driving 2 where you just about need a variable put in there. Even then, it's not really a necessity, but most people are going to want a variable when you're running a 2 driving 4, 2 driving 8, 1 driving 2. But again, that's the way the customer wanted it, so that's the way he gets it. I've got 2 available right now at the time of this video with high and low in it, but they do not have sideband. So this is definitely a custom order, prepaid order that he put in, because I do not carry them with sideband in them, and I don't carry them with a variable. So that's it, guys. Carl built C-60 single HG 2879. I do believe they do a little bit more with the high and low. I think mine is doing about 165, 175, and doing about 65 watts average, whereas this one's doing about 50 watts average and doing about 150 PEP. So I think with the high and low, they tend to do just a little bit more power. But that's it, guys. Carl built C-60. Appreciate it. Everybody have a good day. Rooster in Tennessee. Questions, comments, shoot me a text. 423-299-3535. Catch you guys out there. See you, bye.